Well, here we are in the Canadian prairies, the Alberta prairies. And of course, when we talk about the economy of Alberta, we talk so much about oil. Well, there is genuine oil production going on. Natural gas as well, presumably. High water table, but I'm in a very unique area here. We are up above, just outside of the Badlands. So, which is really a whole history of erosion 101. And of course, dinosaurs, the Royal Tyrrell Museum. Tyrrell himself, 1884, found Albertosaurus. Listen to the beautiful winds, but it is a gorgeous day out here. So you see those wonderful pumps, and then in the distance, you can see the formation of the Badlands. And it's a massive valley eroded out by the Red Deer River. And basically the erosion takes us back in time hundreds of millions of years and has exposed, of course, there was coal mining all down there as well. It exposed some of the best fossil beds in the whole world. But it is a landscape that I just found wonderful. I find wonderful and dramatic. And this huge Alberta blue sky out here. So that's east, that's the way out to Saskatchewan. We just came down from the north, down from Edmonton, about 3 hours and 20 minutes driving. And now we're going to give you a series of little tours throughout the valley. And we are also, of course, going to host a live virtual tour. So thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel, and we will carry on up to Horse Thief Canyon. Well, welcome to the Badlands, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking north up the Red Deer River Valley there. So this is an incredibly diverse and eroded area. They do call it Badlands because, of course, it wasn't particularly productive. This is Horse Thief Canyon specifically, and it is said in the early ranching days many horses would disappear in here and come back with different brands on them. But also something like 35 species of different dinosaurs have been found in here. And basically looking down into these eroded valleys, we're looking down into the history of our planet, going back millions, hundreds of millions of years. It is a spectacular landscape. Also, just for fun, there's a gopher. So prairie dogs out there. I have seen great horned owls in this part of Alberta before. There are deer down in the valleys. There are coyotes, even black bears can be seen down here. But it is a spectacular area. There are, of course, Badlands around. There's some famous ones in South Dakota, and then this feels a little bit like Patagonia in Argentina as well. And then the Gobi Desert up there in China, places where dinosaurs have been found. That's a soft soil, and in fact, the economic activity in addition to farming down through here was coal mining, which was a huge part of the economy historically down to these valleys. About 20 kilometers or so north of Drumheller, which is the main community in the valley. And then, of course, as I showed earlier on this video, oil production all through the area. And then the main cash crop now produced out around here is canola. We're not quite at the right time of year when all the beautiful yellow flowers pop up. But I do watch my step as I wander around here as well, because so many gopher holes down below as they've built their homes into this soft, easily eroded soil. I'd just like to bring you out, have a look. Now this area can be extremely hot in the summertime. It's a beautiful temperature right now, probably about 22 degrees Celsius. But there's really no shade when you're out in the Badlands. That's because, of course, they've eroded into these sort of pyramid-like shapes. And so it's always a very exposed environment. But it's pretty fantastic here. So we will head down by the Royal Tyrrell Museum and then down into Drumheller and give you a little bit of an ongoing video tour. Just an added little moment of Finn on his electric skateboard, just doing an excellent job out here. And he's just being careful, of course, with the gopher holes and the edge of the cliff, needless to say. That is great fun. so we've just left the pull-in for Horse Thief Canyon, and Finn is being very helpful here and filming just because this descent down into the Badlands is such a spectacular drive. We wanted to share it with you. So we had to, of course, clean off the windshield because of all the bugs we picked up on the longer drive. So these beautiful big open roads out here. As you can see, the speed limit's 80 kilometers an hour. Sunday, it'll be busier in Drumheller. It's one of the classic getaways. Where we are roughly is about an hour and a half from Calgary. And a very interesting mix of economy out here. Again, you see the oil, lots of farming. There are some cattle in the areas, and then of course it's tourism now down in the Badlands because of the Royal Tyrrell Museum, which is really considered one of the very best paleontological museums in the world. This is a popular spot to get away for a weekend if you're not going to the mountains in Alberta. But just enjoy this descent as we come down the road here because it's so beautiful coming down into this valley. See, they're irrigating down in the bottom. Again, it's the Red Deer River, which eventually meets up with the Bow and becomes the South Saskatchewan. Some frost heaves in the road from the winter. But yet the Badlands really are Erosion 101. It's a way of reaching back and understanding the history of our planet. Lovely homestead over there too. Drumheller's home to about 5,000 people, town itself, but there's so much to explore up and down these valleys. And of course, quite a long way away is Dinosaur Provincial Park as well, which does excellent interpretive walks. So welcome down into the Badlands, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now south of Drumheller, and this is just a drive I absolutely love to take anytime we come to this part of Alberta. We always drive into Wayne, Alberta. Wayne was a coal mining town. It was once upon a time over 2,000 people, and now I think its population is about 28 or something. So it's a 6-kilometer drive along a series of really fantastic bridges, and it leads us up to the Last Chance Saloon. Now, I have brought a tour group there for lunch once upon a time, and actually the last time I visited, the saloon was closed, but I actually met a gentleman who was born in this town. It was such a neat thing. So we're not quite there, we're still in Rosedale. But look at the valley up through here, it's just spectacular driving, and very popular with people on motorcycles and so forth, although with the far end the road is no longer paved. But this is just some of the dramatic scenery in through these Badlands. A matter of personal taste, but I find the textures in the rock just so appealing. So we'll take you up to the saloon up this valley here and just see it. In fact, I feel as though I saw an email saying it's for sale, but I sure hope the right person can take it over, because they even put on Wayne Stock, which is a music festival. But it's just fabulous country in here, and it's really feels like ghost town country. And then when you come out the other end of the valley and you pop up onto the top, boom, you're back at the prairies. It's like this is a hidden world down here. Hidden world of old coal mining and fossils and construction, and so much the story of Alberta and Western Canada. Down the out for a nice bike ride. Perfect thing to do on a Sunday. Now, if I were elsewhere in the world, these would feel like mining camps for gold and that sort of thing, like you'd see up in Yukon or in BC. But not here. Of course, one of the richest deposits of fossils anywhere in the world. It's not surprising that there's coal and oil and gas and everything that goes back to that organic matter. Looks like we have some roadworks up ahead. And there was a whole train system through here once upon a time. No more trains anymore coming up here because, of course, no coal to transport out. Okay, as you can see, we are 1 kilometer from Wayne. There's a guy just hanging out his land. And here's the, oh, there it goes. Population then, 2490, now 29. There's a car is just yielding to us, so we'll come through here. Boy, does this feel remote in here. And just up ahead is the mighty Last Chance Saloon. Imagine what that was like in the boom times. There's mining communities. Quite a remarkable bit of history here. Rose Deer Hotel, and they are super friendly here too. Oh, I see these people actually live here. We're following a car of actual Wayne residents. Oh, I can see that the saloon is open because it's popular with motorbikes, but it has quite a distinct following. Fantastic there. There's the haberdashery. And there's all the bikes. So there it is, established 1913. Now that might not be as old as elsewhere in the world, but it sure is a bit of history in this part of the world. And I've even come out here for live music, so we'll leave them be so we're not filming other people, but nice collection of bikes out here.